upcoming games that you should keep an eye out for. There'll be different styles of games here, but I'm sure some of them will really catch your eyes. If you guys enjoyed the video, click on the like, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and let's go to the video. Instinction is for you that miss the old and classic dinosaur games. This game is going to be an FPS, and it's being developed by the studio Ashfall Interactive Studio.
I wish I hadn't come here for this.
As you can see in the images, the creatures are really impressive, the graphics and also moves, and the game promises to be one of the most realistic dinosaur games ever created, and I'm sure it's going to be. The game is absolutely impressive by everything we have seen so far, but to see the final version of the game we need to wait until some moment of 2025, but I might say that I believe this is going to be very good, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Series S and also PC. Ashfall is a third-person post-apocalyptic MMORPG. The game features a beautiful and immersive destroyed world, with a fluid and fun third-person shooter style. The game is being developed by the studio NetEase Game, and it's going to be set in a not-so-distant future. Humanity will have to survive a nuclear war launched by AI as revenge, in a huge open map to explore with your friends, meeting other players that could help you or not.
A road that was once.
Despite the game is going to be a MMO, there will also be an storyline to be followed, which promises to be very immersive. But to finally play it, we still need to wait a little bit more, because there is no release date yet. And the game is coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Series S and also PC.
Remember how I felt? Father told us to hide when they came to us.
A.I.L.A is a third-person action game with some RPG mechanics, all set in a semi-open world, and the game is being developed by the studio Rogue Factor.
Mother said I couldn't play outside anymore.
Explore this dark, mysterious and dangerous place seeking answers for your questions, all with a fast and dynamic melee combat, fighting against strange sorts of creatures with very unique styles.
Our heads.
This is the type of game that I really get excited about, but to see if it's as good as it looks, we need to wait until some moment of 2025, and the game is coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Series S and PC.
Didn't exist.
A.I.L.A is an interesting and unique first-person horror game, and the main idea of the game sounds extremely original and absolutely interesting, and I'm sure you'll find that too, and it's being developed by the studio Pulsatrix Studios. In the game, you'll be in the control of a game tester in the future world. The main idea of the game will be explore and test games in a VR system that's set in the story, not a real VR system. But in some moment, the experience of the game will be also part of the reality of the game, that end up becoming an absolute nightmare. The most interesting thing here is that the game will mix some games inside the game and the original reality of the game, but will surely grant us with some very interesting environments, set in different locations, times, or even universes maybe, what sounds extremely exciting for me. The game is coming out probably in 2025 or 2026 for Xbox Series X, Series S, PlayStation 5 and PC. Pragmata is a very interesting and curious game developed by Capcom, and everything I've seen so far looks really good, with insane graphics and an interesting mystery about the game. The game is going to be set in a dystopic future. The gameplay is going to be set in a third-person camera, but so far what this game is really going to be is still a mystery, and that's something that got my attention. I'm really happy for this game, especially because I think it's gonna be something very unique, what I really respect. But unfortunately the game was postponed sometime, and I still don't know when it's going to be released. Let's hope 2025, and it will be released on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Series S and PC. ArcheAge Chronicles is one of the most beautiful RPG games announced, and will probably be one of the best games of its year, and is being developed by the studio A.I.L.A Games. Explore Aurora, a vast and vibrant world brimming with rich lore and thrilling action. The gameplay looks really good, involving all types of gameplays, with a lot of different weapons, enemies, environments, and much more. You probably got impressed by this game, right? Yeah, that happened to me. And the game will be coming out to Xbox Series X, Series S, PlayStation 5 and PC, and will be coming out in 2025 or 2026. Soulframe is an action RPG set in an open world with an MMO experience, and the best is going to be a free-to-play game, and it looks really good, with nice graphics and a beautiful and stunning world.
More righted though, and fayish way.
The game has been developed by the studio Digital Extremes, and is set in a fanciful and magical world, with interesting enemies, including interesting boss fights, with some Souls-like mechanics like boss fights and the combat style.
Lady by beaver, by sparrow. Blighted, yes, I'll see.
The game's been developed for a long time, even had a closed beta already, but there is no release date for the final version yet, and it's only confirmed for PC for now. Where Winds Meet is a new open-world action RPG set in a Souls-like experience. The game has been developed by the studio Everstone Studios and looks absolutely breathtaking. The game will be set in a mythological China, and the game promises to be a massive and giant RPG game, spend months playing, and of course, as it's an open world game, we can expect secret places with good equipment, hidden areas with challenging boss fights, and with these bosses, great rewards too. But for me, sounds perfect. You like this type of game? Well, I myself love it, but I need to wait until some moment of 2025 or 2026 to finally play the game. It's coming out to PlayStation 5 and PC. The author is a sort of survival game, but the game is set in an unusual planet. You play as a space miner who are alone in this planet, but create different versions of himself to help him in the survival. And the game has been developed by the studio 11-Bit Studios.
This tells the story of Yandol's, a simple miner who survived a crash landing on a hostile planet.
Yeah, the briefing of the game sounds really unique and curious, but that's the reason why this game looks so interesting. The core of the game involves exploration, mining, building, and also a sort of management, as you will build and control your whole base, what resembles Fallout Shelter in my opinion.
Yan simply lacks the time and skills to deal with all these problems on his own.
As a fan of Death Stranding and Fallout Shelter, I must say that I'm looking forward to this game, but I need to wait until some moment of 2025 to finally play the full version of it, and it's coming out to Xbox Series X, Series S, PlayStation 5 and PC.
One of them is the result of altering a crucial decision from Yan's past. The altars are a reflection of the...
Lost Soul Aside is a new hack-and-slash game, with a fast-paced gameplay inspired in Devil May Cry and even in Final Fantasy XV, and the game is being developed by the studio Zero Games. It's being developed in Unreal Engine, and in the gameplays and trailers we have seen so far, it looks really interesting, with a fast and unique combat system. For those who miss the old and classic hack-and-slash games, this one promises to be really good, with good mechanics, great enemies, and also boss fights. So if you really miss the hack-and-slash old games, you should keep an eye out for it. The game is coming out probably in 2025, but there is no release date yet. It's coming out to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 and PC, but PlayStation 4 version could be cancelled, but wasn't yet. War of the Worlds is an open-world survival game set in a universe of the original War of the Worlds. The game is set in an FPS style, and the experience here looks extremely interesting, especially by the visual style of the creatures. The game is being developed by Flip Switch Games. In the game, the player will be thrown in an open world with these aliens. You must explore, loot, hide, fight, or even escape, trying to find a way to bring the evil alien forces down. If you watched the film or even read the book, you know how deadly these creatures are. So finding a way to fight them and bring them down will probably be something really interesting and immersive. But to play it, we need to wait until the game to be released. But for now, there is no release date yet, and it's coming out only for PC for now. Sentinel is an upcoming narrative-focused open-world action game, set in a distant future with different versions of Tokyo. The most interesting thing here is that this game is being made by a veteran Rockstar Games director. It's being developed by the studio Lightspeed Studios, and the game was announced in 2023. But so far I didn't see much more about the game, except this trailer that looks really interesting, but doesn't represent the real gameplay of the game. But I believe we see something else of it still in 2024. If you enjoy sci-fi games, open world games, or even story-focused games, I think you should keep an eye out for it, as I have a hunch this game will be big, but we still have no idea when it's coming out, and neither the platform, but probably PC, Xbox Series X, Series S, and PS5. Project the Receiver is a Chinese fast-paced action RPG game set in an open world and with a Souls-like style gameplay. The game has been developed by the studio Paper Games. The game will be set in a vibrant open world with different locations such as forests, temples, farms, and much more, all that in a world filled with different types of enemies and bosses, with a fast and challenging combat style, with impressive graphics and emotions by the character and also enemies. A game that I should be looking forward to seeing more, but we need to wait a bit longer, because there is no release date yet, but it may come out in 2025 or 2026, I believe, to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 and PC, but the PlayStation 4 version could also be cancelled. GRIME 2 is an upcoming action Metroidvania. The game is a sequel of the first game of the same name, which is very good and original, and now the new one promises to be even greater. The game has been developed by the studio Overby and features a very unique visual style with a psychedelic and bizarre creatures, and also environment style, with a fast and fluid 2D combat system, and as any Metroidvania, the exploration here will be really essential and rewarding. In the case you're a fan of Metroidvanias, please take a look at the original game, you're probably going to enjoy it, and you'll surely be looking forward to this new one. But for now, this game has no release date yet, and it's just confirmed for PC for now, but I think it'll be confirmed for the consoles too.
Who did you love?
State of Decay 3 is the new episode of an old Microsoft survival series. The game set in a zombie apocalypse that nearly wiped out humankind, and the third game promises to be the greatest one of the series. The game is being developed by the Undead Labs, and the first two games were fun, but nothing really huge. But the third one aims to be a huge and immersive adventure, where you can play alone or even with your friends, exploring, surviving, looting, and enhancing your base with a fun third-person experience.
When we ventured out beyond the gates.
The game was announced a long time ago, so that means that it's going to be a big game, I believe. Right? Well, I think this is gonna be fun, but to play it we need to wait, because there's no release date confirmed yet, and it's coming out to Xbox Series X, Series S and PC. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Click the like, subscribe to the channel. Videos almost every day. I got a lot of videos in the channel already talking about new games, upcoming games. So if you enjoyed this one, just check the other ones too. And I've got different videos on this channel too, like the best games of each console. So take a look if you want to. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching, and so long.